So I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Coralville City Council to order on October 8th, 2019. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Foster.
Present.
Gross.
Here.
Gill.
Present.
Dodds.
Present.
Goodrich.
Here.
Okay, all council members are present, as is the mayor, city clerk, city administrator, city attorneys, and several staff in the audience. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Gill, seconded by Gross. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, very good. Item 4 is citizen comments. This is the time on the agenda for anybody in the audience that would like to speak to us tonight about an item that's not already on the agenda. Is there anyone that would like to talk to us tonight? Small crowd, and I don't see anybody jumping up, so we will move on. Item 5 is 1246 12th Avenue, which is the Genesis Church. This is located on 12th Avenue. Behind this project would be behind the Genesis Church and will allow a second structure to be built on the lot. And this is the second consideration of the ordinance. Shall we do the reading first? Okay, let's do a reading. Don, please.
Ordinance number 2019-1013, an ordinance amending the Coralville zoning ordinance, the same being ordinance number 464 as previously amended, and rezoning certain property located within the corporate limits of the city of Coralville, Johnson County, Iowa, and generally known as 1246 12th Avenue from R1 Single Family Residential District to RPUD 2 Residential Planned Unit Development 2 District, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Foster, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion. We have a memo here that from the building official, Jim Kessler.
Yeah, that will just be incorporated in the final development agreement.
Okay,
Yep.
which it just addresses the parking issue that we discussed based on the various uses of this accessory structure that they're intending to construct.
So Jim, are all our concerns being met?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you going to talk at all about like what your vision is, or I'd be curious to, if you don't mind, because I so eloquently last time asked the engineer some questions that probably better suited for you. But I'd just be curious, like, I'm just curious, like, what do you anticipate this space being used as, and because I think there's been some, even us up here are trying to figure out, is it going to be this massive gathering space for worship? Is it going to be more of a spot where kids go after school, or is it in between, or kind of what are we?
Yeah, that's a great question. As you know, Genesis Church really values being a community member. And
Can you introduce yourself?
Oh yeah, my name is Dave Conrads, pastor of Genesis Church. But yeah, we really value being a partner in this community. And when we were considering a space for worship, but even more so for outreach, because we really don't want to have a space that sits vacant, 6 days a week. It just became more and more evident to us the need, especially my kids, the Kirkwood neighborhood. There's a great need for mentoring, and so we thought it would be really amazing to have a gym in the area where we could do some after-school mentoring and things of that nature. But then also to have a loft for multi-purpose space, which would even include a space for worship. So that's really the heartbeat of the church, is to really provide even when we renovated that house, it was for, we talked about it's for the church and the community. And so even with the barn, we look at it the same way.
Good. So what's the most you would anticipate? And I've lost my voice. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I was at the Iowa-Michigan game. I kept on yelling at our line to block. So I got it. But what's the most you would anticipate being in?
Pardon?
What's the most number of people you would anticipate?
Well, according to Jim, we can. Just kidding. So I think, like, looking at the parking that we're looking at now, I think on the property 350 in the facilities. Obviously, when we have the big barbecue, there's lots of people on the grounds. But as far as in the facility, the way I understand it, 350 would be the max for the usage. Yep. The loft space where we would gather for worship, I think I can't remember what our architect looked at, but it was probably 200 to 250. Maybe Jim can remember how many seats we had in there. So that's kind of if that gives you an idea.
And that would only be probably on Sundays, right?
Yeah, that'd just be Sunday mornings is when we'd have those gatherings. The concerts would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm just kidding about that. But I know that there's concern about, is there, you have this huge space, is it going to be packed? We don't have any, that's not what we're thinking about. We're really thinking about that kind of limit. If the church were to grow, the way we're wired is to plant another. I like parish ministry. I think being in your community is awesome. So we're not looking to be a big mega church. So if we grew, we'd look at what other neighborhoods could use, a presence. So that's kind of the vision of where we're at.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
And then, can we just talk a little bit about the turn lane? So that's something that we would be looking at for the final agreement, or?
That would only be if needed, and if these numbers that are here, the engineering department doesn't feel like a turn lane would be needed.
But I think the council the consensus last time was if it is needed, it would not be at our expense. It would be at the expense of the church, so.
So Dave, the trees are going to go, but you're going to replace the trees with other.
Tom, this is probably, if you know me, this is a big deal for me, being a conservation guy. So the irony of it is a lot of the area where we're looking to put it for parking and even the building itself had a lot of elms that just had Dutch elm wipe it out, almost laid it out for us.
Yeah.
So the remaining hardwood trees, the really good natives like black walnuts, we'll probably lose a few of those. And what we would replant with would be native trees to this area, into that soil in this area. Yep.
I remember you saying that a long time ago that you wanted to build a barn, but I never expected it to be this big.
Yeah, we didn't either. But one of the things that we would really love to see, if it's possible, is to have a full high school court. And then a friend of mine who was a volleyball coach at Ankeny said you really need to make it wider so you can do 2 cross-court volleyballs. And then we talked to the folks from Coralville Rec, and one of the issues with our Coralville Rec is that the cross courts aren't actually standard elementary length courts, which need to be 74 feet, high school courts 84 feet, college 94. So that's why we widened it.
Okay.
And so, if the funding comes in, we'd love to see that
Great.
facility. Yep.
Good.
I think it'll be a really nice addition to that neighborhood. I like the idea of the big white house, and I think Jill said this at the last meeting, the big white house and the big red barn together
Yeah.
will be really fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, we really wanted something that would complement the house and not be if I can say it, a churchy building. And so we felt that would hopefully be something that would, be pleasing to everybody.
Thank Dave.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I guess
Thank
I'll
you.
just say too, because it seems like the mayor and I are always at your place, shout out, so it's not scamming you here, but just, on behalf of the council, just what your group has done for the community, it's paramount. We really appreciate the ministry and the activism, and you're the definition of a good neighbor, and we're so glad to have you here.
That means a lot to us. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Ordinance passes its second consideration, all ayes. Item 6 is Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, and this is a resolution approving the quotation for our group health insurance coverage for city employees. We'll introduce it, and then I'll introduce Mike.
Resolution accepting the quotation of Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield to provide health insurance for the city's employees, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Ooh, stereo. We'll give it to Foster this time, seconded by Foster. Now I'll introduce Mike Funke, our HR director. Mike, would you like to speak to us?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We received our annual renewal from Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, and it's a 4.46% increase, which slightly higher than last year's 3.07% increase, but still under their average book of business of 7%. And I believe that's also what was budgeted for, using a 7% increase. So it falls well within those parameters.
Great. And that's a reflection of the good health of our employees, and
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, appreciate that.
But thanks, Mike, for getting good policies for our employees. That's
It's the employees, it's not me.
And what do employees pay?
Employees pay $35 a month for the family policy and $0 for the single.
So I just want, I hope people listen to that, because there's always kind of this race of who's the most progressive community in this county and this or that. And I don't know a lot of places that have their families paying $35 for healthcare. So really proud of that.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Roll call?
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution's approved, all ayes. Item 7 is 1507 Brown Deer Road, storm sewer repair. First item is a motion to approve pay estimate number 3 for stormwater work that was done at this area. I'd entertain a motion to pay estimate number 3 for Maxwell Construction in the amount, for 1507 Brown Deer Road, in the amount of $9,310.
So moved.
Moved by Gill,
Second.
seconded by Goodrich. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, that motion passes, all ayes. Item B is a resolution approving the work.
Resolution accepting the 1507 Brown Deer Road storm sewer repair is completed. It's introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Dodds. Discussion? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. And as someone who walks their dog by there frequently, it really turned out nice. It's really a nice improvement to that area. Item 8 is 12th Avenue in Oakland. Should be Oakdale, isn't it? Or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 12th Avenue and Oakdale Boulevard pavement repair, 2019. I'd entertain a motion to approve pay estimate number 1 to the 12th Avenue and Oakdale Boulevard project for amount of $124,124.96.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Okay, moved by Dodd, seconded by Gross. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, a motion is approved, all ayes. Resolution to accept the project.
Resolution accepting the 12th Avenue and Oakdale Boulevard pavement repairs 2019 is completed. Introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodd, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Any discussion? Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Similar project, item number 9 is the 10th Avenue and 6th Street pavement repair project 2019. Similarly, I entertain a motion for change order number 1 in the amount of $10,905.49 and the pay estimate final of $179,077.10 to LL Pelling, Inc. for the 10th Avenue and 6th Street pavement repair project. Moved by
So moved.
Foster, seconded
Second.
by Gill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion's approved, all ayes. And accepting the project, Don?
Resolution accepting the 10th Avenue and 6th Street pavement repairs 2019 is completed. Introduced by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross. Discussion? All, roll call.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Resolution's approved, all ayes. Item 10, City Hall West End Sewer Line Replacement Project. This is for the replacement of sewer line servicing the west side of City Hall that's collapsed in 2 locations. A bid report?
Yes, there were 2 bids received for the work, and the low bid was by Maxwell Construction for $72,352. This is for the original bathrooms that were part of the original City Hall, and the sewer line has collapsed, and it was determined by the staff and the engineer that worked with the maintenance staff that it would be better to put a new line in than trying to rehab the old line that came under City Hall, the new parts of City Hall.
Okay, thank you. The resolution, Don?
Resolution accepting bids and awarding the construction contract for the City Hall West End Sewer Line Replacement Project. Introduced for adoption by Councilmember Foster, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion? Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item C is for the same project, approving the contract and bond documents.
Resolution approving the contract and bond documents for the City Hall West End Sewer Line Replacement Projects, introduced by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Second by Goodrich. Discussion? Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 11 is a resolution for a lease agreement. This would be approve a lease with Arena Co. for space that will use as temporary offices for the Extreme Arena and Spectra Management. It also provides storage for furniture, fixtures, and equipment in a temperature-controlled and secure environment. Arena Co. will pay all expenses incurred by their occupancy. Don?
Resolution approving a lease agreement with Arena Co. for 802 Quarry Road, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion? Anything more you want to say, Kelly, or no? Okay. Any discussion? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross. Gill.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Now I'd consider a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented or amended.
Move to approve the consent calendar, items A through double B inclusive.
Second.
Seconded by Dodds. Moved by Gill, seconded by Dodds. Discussion? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross. Gill.
Aye.
Consent calendar is approved, all ayes. Item 13 is the city administrator report.
Yes, this coming Sunday, the fire department's doing something a little different this year. They are having an open house at both fire stations, both on Holiday Road and here on Fifth Street. And then they will be having their chili supper following up the close of the open house, which is 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. There'll be a chili supper at Fire Station Number 2, which is at Holiday Road. So just remind people that it's going on and that it's a little different this year. So please, if you're interested in participating in that, go out to the Holiday Road Fire Station. And it gives you a chance to see both of them if you would like to participate in that. So that's all I have.
Did you mention a chili supper too? Or?
Yes, the
Okay.
chili supper is at the Holiday Road Fire Station.
Great. That's it?
Yep.
Okay. Mayor's report, I don't really have too much to add either. Since we had our last meeting, the Iowa League of Cities annual conference was held up in Dubuque, Iowa. And as always, it was an outstanding event and really a lot of very educational session and valuable time to interact with other city officials and exhibitors and league staff. And it was especially significant this time because that same conference next year in September will be here in Coralville at the Marriott. And so we put on our best show to encourage people to get excited about coming here to Coralville next year, and I think that was successful. Certainly talked up the arena, which will be open by the time the conference is held, and people just love coming to a community like ours where the hotel and meeting space and so much other eating, dining, entertainment is all within walking distance of the same area. And so there's a lot of excitement about coming to Coralville. I think it's been 6 years since they were here last. So, but that's all I have. City Attorney's report.
Nothing from me, Kevin.
Okay. Committee and council members report. Do you want to start, Lori?
Sure. Sunday and Monday, I attended the Iowa Area Chambers Community Leadership Program, and Alex Taylor, who is in the audience tonight, was one of the facilitators, and appreciate being with many people in the community.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's it.
Jill?
And I think the only thing that is mentionable is we had the Iowa Women's Foundation luncheon, and Councilmember Foster and Goodrich got to go as well as I did, and we enjoyed it with the City of Coralville table. So we had a nice time.
Super. Tom?
Well, I think other people are going to say, but Thursday we had the Green State
Oh, yeah.
naming of the field house. That was a monumental affair because, you know, to build these things we have to have naming rights, and it's really a great thing that we've got most of these naming rights done, right, Kelly?
Yeah,
And
there's 2 more to announce, but those are all complete.
2 more to announce?
Yep.
Yeah, so, but again, it was a nice, it was raining, but there was a good turnout for it. And we'd like to thank Green State for the naming rights for the field house. Secondly, since it's a short night with the zoning ordinances, I'd just like to thank Ellen and the staff, the building department and the engineering department. You know, when we go through a lot of these ordinances and zoning, the council, we spend an awful lot of time in work sessions doing these things. It's not a thing that we just kind of whimsically talk about at the council meeting. And I'd just like to thank them because they are all very proactive and really thinking these ordinances through and these planning sessions through. So again, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Mitch?
I'm just glad I got to hear Tom use the word whimsically from the, whimsically. Yeah. On October 1st, I mentioned this at the last meeting, but I was able to present Tori Derricott and Cornelius Eady with the Paul Engler Prize that we sponsor, and the event was fantastic. And the one thing I want to share is that both of these poets are internationally known. In fact, Mr. Eady's been nominated for 2 Pulitzer Prizes, and Ms. Derricott right now is a finalist for the National Book Award, and both raved about our library. I mean, just I could not believe how beautiful it was, how stunning it was, it was just, just makes you feel very good when you have people from all different parts of the country coming in and talking about our great facilities. So I want to pass that along. That's all I've got.
Thanks, Mitch. Megan?
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a few things. One of the first things I wanted to mention was the community meal that we hosted at Northwest Junior High on September 27th. It was a great success. It was really fantastic having that meal at Northwest Junior High. We had around 300 people attend. I wanted to give a special thank you and shout out to the Coralville transit staff who were there. Jude was my 6-year-old son, was extremely excited about the buses, and they were so kind in letting him honk the horn over and over and over and over and over again. And they did a great job. They had Toby out, and that was just fantastic. That a lot of kids were really excited by that. So thank you to everybody that volunteered. Thank you to all the staff at Northwest, volunteers at the food pantry, and community partners who helped make that event a success. I also wanted to talk about the event that I participated in this last Saturday, since the mayor at our last meeting had a proclamation declaring October Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I wanted to talk about the Shop for the Shelter event that happened on Saturday. I wanted to thank the Coralville Hy-Vees who participated in that event. We collected a lot of crucial items for survivors to utilize at the shelter. So thank you to everybody who was generous with that. And then I was also going to talk about the League of Cities, since you did very excited to host that event in Coralville next year. We attended some great sessions. I attended some sessions on housing, women in leadership, and community storytelling. It was fantastic. John, I'm wondering though, is that video something that everybody can see? Is that going to be on Coral Vision?
Oh, we could talk about that. It was also whimsical.
It was very whimsical. I think a lot of people aren't aware of your acting skills. So, yeah, it'll be fantastic. We have a lot to be proud of in Coralville, and I'm excited to host the event here next year. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anything, Thor? Okay.
Nothing whimsical.
We'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Gil, seconded by?
Second.
I don't know who got it. I'll give it to Jill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.